مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله الكبير. We're truly humble today and we're honored today and by God's blessings, and so we are today we are here and this is God's design and his infinite grace and mercy that we are here and we are given another chance to redeem ourselves, and so this is a huge opportunity for us to become a better servant of God. So this is not by accident, as I always say, this by divine design and providence that and that we have this opportunity, and this should not be taken for granted. This is something that we should cherish and we should look forward to during our weekly routines that we go through. This is really the pinnacle of this all of our efforts, and so we are in contact with God in a congregational manner, and this is a huge blessing and an honor that God has bestowed upon us. And so accordingly, we should be grateful to the source of all of these favors that God has bestowed upon us. And so again, we are humbled by this, and so we should follow the path of God, and God is grateful for everything that we do, and so we should return in kind and be grateful to him. Today, what I wanted to discuss with you, I wanted to go to my mathematics first today, okay? And I want to go to 114th regular prime. So the 114th regular prime is 1069, and 1069 happens to be an Emirp. That means that if you write it backwards, it also becomes a prime again. So its Emirp is actually 9601. And I want you to pay attention to 9601 because this is again another one of these numbers that's speaking to us in the language of mathematics. And what we notice is that this 9601, above and beyond being an Emirp, is also a Non-Chen Prime. It happens to be 570th Non-Chen Prime. And 570th Gaussian Prime is 9127. So according to these four lines that I just presented here to you, 114, which is the number of surahs in the Quran, requires chapter 9 to have 127 verses. And another thing that I said, pay attention to 9601, because 9601 is actually translated to chapter 96, verse 01, which is very first verse that was revealed. And in that one, God says, read in the name of thy Lord who created. Okay? So, so this is the importance of this number, and see what now it does later on in these bullets that I'm presenting to you today. Okay, this 9601 also happens to be 432nd Harmonic Prime. Okay, and 432nd Odd Composite, as we saw last week, is actually 1273, and this number 1273 happens to be the frequency of the word God in 9127. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to go to the Quran, and I want to point this out to you that verse 5519 in the Quran, okay, chapter 55 verse 19, is a prime number verse, and it's 1273rd such number. Okay? So, another strength of this and robustness of this system that God has created, since this is a prime number count, is independent of the two false verses, because none of the two false verses are prime numbers. There's 128 and 129. Neither one of them are primes. They're composites, so they cannot be counted. So what is important about 5519? 5519th composite happens to be 6346, which is the total number of verses in the Quran. Okay? And so again, I have a table there online, but I'm encouraging you that what you should do is you should actually go on and look at it for yourself, look it up for yourself, and say in the Google page, Google search, let's see here. Yeah, right here. I think I had it right here. Yeah. In Google search, what you should do is you should go ahead and look at composite numbers. Composite numbers. And then you hit it here and you go to the wiki page for it, and it's right over here. See composite number. So you click on that, and it has all these lists of composite numbers. And then you click on this, and then it goes to you click on this one, and this the list of composites. There they are. Okay. The first composite is 4, the second one is 6, and so on. Okay. So if you go to 5519, yeah, I already have it there, so I'll just click it, and there it is. 5519th composite is 6346, and that happens to be the true number of verses in the Quran, including the unnumbered bismillahs. Okay. So this is at your fingertip. This is at your fingertip. So what is this doing? This is telling us that there is a book which has 114 chapters, and chapter 9 is supposed to be 9127. Okay, and furthermore, it's supposed to have 6,346 verses. Okay, so that's what these numbers that I just showed you actually convey to us. Okay, so I'm going to go down, and then we found out that 432nd composite is 532. You can again find it in that table of composites. Okay, 532nd composite 651. 651st composite is 790, and 790 verse containing the word God is 9127. Okay. 790th lonely prime happens to be 9619. Remember, I started with 9601, which was Iqra. Then I ended up with 9619, and chapter 96 has 19 verses. The first chapter was revealed has 19 verses. Okay, so why did I switch this? I was thinking of it to do this backwards, like I talk in the first one and then I talk about mathematics. No, I'm going to talk about this first, and you'll see in a minute why. Okay. 790 in base 19 happens to be 2698 in base 10. 2698 is the frequency of the word God in the entire Quran. Okay? And people are literally running away from this. They're running away. They have all kinds of excuses, okay, not to study this. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to go to chapter 96, okay, and '96, okay, and called the embryo, and we come down here, and there it is. Read in the name of thy Lord, or your Lord, who created. Okay, and so I'll go through this Okay, it's only 19 verses. Created a human being from an embryo. Read, and your Lord the most honorable, the one who teaches how to write. He teaches the human being what he does not know. Absolutely, indeed, the human being is always rebellious. Okay, and we'll see why God is talking about this, okay, in a minute. He sees himself as in no need. Indeed, to your Lord is the final return. Do you see the one who forbids a servant of God from praying? Is it not better if he were guided or advocated righteousness? Do you see the one who rejects and ignores? Does he not realize that God can see? Absolutely, unless he refrains, we will indeed take him by the forelock of a liar, a wrongdoer. Therefore, let him call for help. We will summon the guardians of hell. Absolutely do not obey him and fall prostrate and come closer. Okay? So this is the verse 19. Absolutely do not obey him. Do not fall for your friends who are forbidding you from prayers. You shall fall prostrate and come closer to God. Okay? So what I want to leave you with, I want to go back to 55:19. Okay? And as you see in red, it says this is verse 49:18 from the beginning of the Quran. Okay? So what is telling me go to chapter 49, which has 18 verses. Okay? And so I'm going to stop here and we'll finish this unit, and then we'll go back to this and see what we can learn from the Quran. Okay?